Tanya Kay, and this is our review of the 2016 Bentley Continental GT convertible. Come here, I want to show you something. Check out these beautiful wheels. They're aftermarket, so don't get your hopes up. This isn't how it drove off the lot, but you can put them on too. Instead, let's look through the wheels and we'll see this beefed up brake package. This brake package exists because the car is heavy and it's powerful and it takes a lot of brakes to stop it. Now also in here, the air suspension. I was surprised that this car had air suspension. That means, yeah, it can be lowered not to lowrider status, but it can be lowered to a normal car status, which this is not a normal car, or it can ride high, and that's really enjoyable. And you feel like a luxurious semi-truck. I don't know, like you dominate the road when this air suspension is lifted. Check out the lines. Bentley designs for beauty. Thank goodness. So many cars don't design for beauty anymore. Bentley does. Everything on this, from the lines to the quality of the materials. Inside here we have their wonderful leather package. I'm a vegan and I'm a skirt wearing vegan, so I don't love leather. It sweats and I stick to the seats, but other people really do enjoy it. And everything is real. So if it looks like chrome, it is chrome. It's not a plastic piece. If it looks like wood, it is wood. It's not a panel. No, everything in here is super high quality, super solid. It's wonderful to feel that. It's a very sensual driving experience to be able to touch and feel everything made with this sort of craftsmanship. More beautiful lines, and we get to the back and you have the gas cover that faces up, which is very unique. Let me show you what's under the hood. We have a 4-liter V8 twin turbo under here. This is not Bentley's biggest engine. The W12 is. And you may think, oh, well then the W12 is a faster car. Not so. Not so, because this car is lighter at 6,300 pounds. Believe it or not, it is lighter than the W12. So it's a faster car. And it feels like that when you're driving. I was so surprised that the get up and go this has. There's a sport mode in the transmission and it's very enjoyable, very enjoyable. Check out the emblem. It's very recognizable. It's very unconventional also because it has that red in the background of the emblem. You know you're seeing a Bentley when you see this. You also know you're seeing a Bentley when you see that grille. It's such a great bonnet on this car, such a great nose. And this grille denotes, because it's black, it denotes that it's part of a sportier package. I love the grille on this specifically. It's one of my favorite pieces to the car. And in the back, look how easy it is to open the car. With a little push, we have the trunk. It's 9 cubic feet, not a huge trunk, but big enough to put a couple suitcases in. And that's great because this car is made for touring, is a grand tourer. And that means it's kind of a combination between luxury and performance. And you do want to take it across country. You do want to drive to Vegas in this. You do want to drive on city streets as well. You don't want to drive on the track. The most enjoyable experience is going for long drives because it's so comfortable and the performance is so enjoyable. You're never going to want to get out of this car. Let me show you how comfortable this is. I am a small woman. And I have so many comfort options in the seat alone that even I can make this car my ideal situation for driving long distances. It has a back massager. There's a masseuse that comes with this car. There's cooling seats, there's heating seats, there's every type of lift and lower and angle back. I just rolled this so far back that a big man could also drive this car. Now, you're not gonna fit a passenger behind if you're a big man with the seat all the way back, but you can drive this car comfortably as a large person or a small person, and that's really cool. Thank you, Bentley. All right, we've been talking about it, but let's take it out on the road and see if it's worth it. My definition of luxury car just got redefined. This feels luxurious. It feels like fancy grandpa. Understated, I like that. And the reason it can be understated is because it's so high quality. Everything in here is super real. So there's no plastic parts. I'm in a skirt this time. That's why I don't like leather seats as well, or plastic seats or vinyl seats. It's because I actually sweat. However, imagine this car is so luxurious that the comfort settings are out of this world, and I just turned on the cool seat and now my legs are being air conditioned specifically. So that's enjoyable. Oh my gosh. It's got a V8 in it. V8S is the engine type. And it really flies. There's even a sport mode, and I'm thinking, you know, like Bentley, you're thinking tradition and you're thinking solid, and why would you ever show off with a sport mode? Not sure, but I'm driving in it right now and it's very enjoyable. This V8S has 526 horsepower and 502 pounds of torque, so it can really go. It can show off. It also has air suspension, and you know, my experience with air suspension is lowriders. So I'm like, hey, can we lowride in the Bentley? Please, Dad, can I take your car? Yeah, so actually it lowers the amount that it lowers is to normal car height, and then the amount that it raises is riding high. And there's a tough feeling about that. We'll drive like that later to feel it out. This feels great. This feels absolutely great. It does have an infotainment center, which is cool, but kind of unnecessary. I figure if you're driving a Bentley, all you really need is Bluetooth, and you'll hook your smartphone up to it, and that's the way cars should work. It should really integrate with your smartphone, which everybody's using. Not everybody's using the computers in their cars, so you don't actually need an infotainment center, in my opinion. I tried to pair my smartphone to the infotainment center, and I couldn't. And so that's what a $250,000 car gets you, apparently. So I thought it should be easier to hook up my Bluetooth. And there's no USB port. So you have to connect to Bluetooth, and it's difficult. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a new option that I feel like Bentley should kind of be updated towards. If you're giving us all this luxury, just get the computer right, and then it'll be perfect. I feel like such a boss. This is so smooth. It's so powerful too. Don't get me wrong, this is powerful. When you slam it into that sport mode, the first thing you'll notice is the exhaust system. The exhaust system starts gurgling and starts sounding like really yummy. I don't know what's in the exhaust system, but it sounds like glass packs. It sounds like a nice, round, adult sound. I don't think it's necessary, but it is fun, because there is power in this car. I love the way it looks. I love the feeling that I have. I feel protected. I feel like it's solid. I feel like, again, understated. I can't use that word enough. I could see myself in one of these, for sure. Not borrowing my dad's version, my own. And the steering wheel, check it out. So the steering wheel is kind of like, look at me when I'm holding it up high, and the steering wheel is adjustable, by the way. When I'm holding it up high, that's very sporty of me, right? It feels a little pretentious. It feels like, why? I think it's meant to be held down low, like cruising style. And I love cruising. This is just, I would road trip the US in this. So this might surprise you, but with this V8S, the 0 to 60 is 4.3 seconds, which is good, but I actually expected it to be better than that. Just because the engine's so big, just, you know, I figured they would ratio it up. I wonder if I put it in sports mode, if I get a different 0 to 60 than if I'm in regular drive mode. Ooh, but feel that. I just took off from stop and it had no hesitation to go. So I'm not disappointed. This is something that you would drive in the city and enjoy it. And it is something you would drive across country and enjoy it. I don't think it's something you take to the track, but hey, if you want to do that, more power to you. The point of this car is to ride in style and class and be comfortable. There are some drivers who want to show off and they don't care about their own sensual experience. And then there's other drivers that care more about their sensual experience, what they're experiencing on the inside of the car than what's on the outside of the car. So it's the opposite. It's taking it inward. The experience becomes a personal thing, and the Bentley is a personal driving experience for sure. Now we're gonna find out what the turning radius is like here. Ooh, yeah, this is a 3-point turner. This is a 3-point turner. This is a big car. Did you hear me say that it was 6,300 pounds? Okay, I don't know what I expected on the turning radius, but this is a big car. It's a ship. That's okay, because you're probably not in a rush if you're driving your Bentley. If I paid $200,000 for a car, the value would be warranted depending on how much, like, does this air suspension hold up over the long term? How much does it cost to repair the nice little, tiny little accurate features, comfort features that it has? Because if I pay $200,000 for a car, I expect everything to be super solid and I never have to make a repair. And if I do, then, you know, they take care of me at the dealership or whatever. So I would have to drive the car long term to tell you if it was worth $200,000 or not. This may sound strange, but I feel like this car lets me be the shining star. Like, I can be as outrageous or flamboyant as I want to be if I'm driving a car that's a backdrop of quality and subtlety. And I do consider myself kind of flamboyant, so it's the perfect car for me. I want to step out of it and be like exciting against the backdrop of an otherwise like just classy, solid car. And I'd say this car is definitely for men or women. Anyone can be executive, especially now. And I feel like it's an executive car, and men or women can be the boss, and I'm feeling it. This car is luxurious, and it has a luxurious price tag to match. The base price on this car is $213,000. And with the add-ons that this specific car has, it brought the price tag up to $250,000. Now, part of that luxury is redundancy. So you can do the same thing in many different ways. For example, when I look forward, there's a digital timepiece on the display. But when I look to my right, there's also a Breitling timepiece right there. And that is not an inexpensive option. That is an extravagant, opulent option. So that's another thing that Bentley is doing. They're keeping it real. They're keeping everything manual, mechanical. It feels like it's paying homage to the design of the car through the ages, which I really appreciate. So I love this car. I can't keep it, so I have to give it back. Thank you so much for enjoying our 2016 Bentley Continental GT convertible review. Like, subscribe to our page, and leave in the comments if you think this car is worth $250,000. Let me know. We'll see you next time.